Do you also want to capture the pictures of the moon like this? Then stick around because I'm going to teach you how. Hi, my name is Negi and welcome to my YouTube channel. Now before we start clicking the pictures of the moon, there are a few things that you will be needing in order to do so. First of all, a camera, a DSLR, or maybe a flagship smartphone like the Samsung S23 FE or the latest iPhone. The next thing you will be needing, if you have a camera, you will be needing a zoom lens that is like a 70-300 or maybe a 200, which can work, but I would recommend a 300 lens for this. And also optional, you can also use a tripod, which I'm using currently to record this video. And yeah, that's it. That's all that you'll be needing. Now let's start using a camera. So let's say you're using a DSLR. By the way, these things can also work with your phone if you have Pro mode on it. So first of all, you'll have to go to manual mode, complete manual. And then from here, you will be setting the camera to a higher shutter, let's say by this 1/250. Your aperture should be the lowest to allow most of the light so that you can use the lowest ISO. But in case you want to capture the whole moon in a proper focus, so you can set the aperture maximum to, I would recommend 7.1 or maybe 8. And just use the lowest possible ISO. You can go up to 800, but after that it's a no-go because it always allows grain to enter the picture. Now the next and the biggest challenge that you'll be facing while you want to capture the moon is with the focusing of the camera or the moon. So a lot of people will tell you that you have to go for manual focus, which is right. You absolutely should, but sometimes autofocus can work if the conditions are right. Like for me right now, the moon is pretty visible. There are no clouds at all. There is zero haze, so the camera won't have a lot of trouble focusing. So you can go for the autofocus, but I would really recommend that setting the camera down and using this ring just to adjust the focus, and then you can clearly see how much you are getting in the frame and how much you are not, which is just better overall. Because if you have a blurry picture of the moon, then no digital editing can save the picture. So always go for manual focus, which I'll show you in the next few moments. And yeah, that is basically it. In case you have a tripod on you, you can always use it, and it makes things a lot easier if you are a beginner. So there it is. My camera is placed on the tripod. I'll just flip the screen and then find the moon with your eyes. And now you have to find the moon in the camera as well. It sometimes can be a challenge when you have a huge lens like this. So always zoom out as much as the lens allows you to. Use the live view always. If your camera does not have a flip screen, this can cause a lot of troubles to you, because then you'll have to bend down using the tripod and then Okay, so here as you can see, we have the moon in focus, and even at the maximum 300 zoom, you can still see that the moon is not as huge in the frame. So you can always use the digital zoom for that and look at it. Now you basically what I would recommend is you should set a timer on the camera. So you can just take your hands, because when you press this button, it causes a little bit of shake and that can cause motion blur. So to avoid that, I have a higher shutter speed right now. So I'll be using autofocus for this one. When you have it on a tripod, always go for the manual focus. But let's say here, there it is on focus, and then I'll just go for 2 photos so I can get one of them without motion blur. And there we have it. Let's zoom in digitally using the cameras, and there you can see I will post the raw picture in the post so you can see that. And that is basically how you capture the moon. You can obviously, if you want the manual focus, you can just use this ring, rotate it in or out, and that accordingly sets the zoom. Look, it's going out of focus. Let's bring it back in like that. The modern cameras, they give you a green lining wherever it is focusing, but with these older cameras, that's not the case. So I would always recommend first set it with the autofocus and then finely tune it using this ring. Just slightly rotate it so you can get the best possible focus according to you. So that is basically it. That is how you click pictures of the moon. You can also go handheld. I'll show you that as well, and I'll show you the results as well. Just switch to your viewfinder. Aim up, hold your breath, and hope for the best. There we are. So as you can see, there we have another picture of the moon. And it's almost the same as the one that we clicked with the tripod. There's no such difference in these pictures. If you can really hold still, I would just recommend going handheld because it saves a lot of time. So that is basically it. That is how you click pictures of the moon in the easiest way possible. For more future videos like this, subscribe to the channel.